And well, good evening, good evening, good evening. What's going on? What's happening on this beautiful Sassy Saturday? I know one thing, we getting ready to have some fun in the house on this evening. If you have not gotten your pen and paper ready, get it together because we're getting ready to have some fun with my marvelous guests. I know you guys have been saying, where is Sassy Saturday? Well, let me just let you in on a little secret. Sassy Saturday on Elevated Not Tolerated is for those special events and those special guests. And today we have both of those things met. We've got a special guest with a special event, and she's super talented. She's super intelligent. She's my little cousin. I love her dearly. And I mean, guys, look, if y'all don't know, y'all know anything about Sheila E. Move her to the side because I got the best in the whole universe right here. This chick right here is bad. I know I'm being biased, but what can I say? So welcome, welcome, welcome to my beautiful guest. Eljay Eccles is in the house. Hey, look, cuz.
What's going on with you?
Man, I don't know. I'm just so super excited to have you here with me. Can't you tell, girl?
I can tell the introduction is a lot for me. Got me blushing.
Well, you know, girl. Well, I love telling people about marvelous people who are doing marvelous things. And you have always been such a talented young lady. And just, girl, when I see you on the drugs, I'll be like, dang, let me just get there with her. I just want to do it. Girl, you're bad, girl. You bad. You bad.
I appreciate it, cuz. I appreciate it. And I try just a little bit, not too much.
And you sing too? Oh my gosh. Look, y'all.
Vicky, you ain't supposed to tell my secret.
Oh, was that a secret?
It's a secret. I don't do no singing.
Well, look what I got right here. Ooh,
that's what I do. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. So
we're gonna talk about that. All right, I'm with that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. Guys, this lady right here, you are such an inspiration. Okay. I try to catch your podcast. Yes, guys, she does a podcast too. Yes, we as family, we do podcasts. We do. Girl, but I be catching you and you are just impacting not only the youth, middle age, and everybody else after that and before that. You are, you give your all, and the transparency is absolutely amazing. And I must say, I am honored to have you on the show today.
Appreciate it, Vicky. Man, I appreciate it. And you know what's crazy is I think sometimes we become afraid of being as transparent. Like we go through issues in life and moments in life, and we share it maybe with our loved ones, but then we don't come to a reality that the same situation, the same moment, the same things that we're going through, somebody outside of our circle is going through that. And the same thing, even if it's not even the magnitude of it, or they can't say that the testimony is the exact same. It's just the feeling, the emotion, the expression, sometimes a feeling of depressed. They go through those same feelings. So it's like, at what point does somebody decide to say, I'm not scared to share it? It doesn't mean that you got to tell every single thing that that goes on behind closed doors. But if you just give people a snippet of it to let them know that you don't have to be, afraid of really what it is that you feel like, and that you're not by yourself. And that's the that's the main thing about the transparency. A lot of times I have a friend of mine tell me I'm too honest sometimes.
You're back.
I don't know no other way to be,
That's it.
But it helps not just me. I mean, it helps me more than anything to know that, my own journey, my own struggle, my own issues can help somebody else, because who wants to feel like they by themselves? Nobody wants to feel that way.
That is so true. Yeah, and I think you hit it right on the head. If we don't do it, if we don't be transparent, then people are not going to come to the forefront and say, hey, there's so many people out there with issues, if you will. Mm-hmm. And let's be real, we all have them. We just might not all express them. But the issues that you talk about, the transparencies that you go through, the things that I talk about on the show too and go through, people don't always get it. They want to put us in a box when we do stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's about, I said it's about me. What I do is for my healing as much as it is to help somebody else heal.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it is what it is. I went, and excuse to all of y'all saints and ain'ts out there, I went through a lot of hell. I went through a whole lot of hell. I'm gonna be 58 in October, and it ain't been easy. It's been some moments, that I went through.
Absolutely.
So if God has allowed me to speak on it, because He brought me through it, then why am I going to keep it and someone else is out there dealing with it and dying?
Right. And look, I tap into your shows early morning. I'll be like, Vicky, she ain't playing. Your consistency is a beast, man. Let me tell you something, because that right there, even in it, learning how to be consistent in the levels of transparency, because we give, when you're starting off to want to be inspiration to people, want to motivate people, want to encourage people, sometimes you take a step back and it's like you wonder, what about you? Because you're giving out so doggone much, like you're giving out so much of your energy, and it's those moments where you just like, can I just be regular?
That part right there. You said it. Can I just be regular?
You know what I'm saying? Can I not think this way for one day? Can I not feel this way for one day? But your level of consistency, man, is that's encouraging me, because you get on there, you be on time, in time, sharing what you're doing. You helping me on the behind the scenes. So I appreciate you, man. Listen, because the consistency is, that's the thing. Like I said, we get tired when what you're doing is helping encourage people, and then it's giving strength to you. You still find yourself running on empty sometimes, and it's a must. People don't think that it's a must that you get around people in your circle, and people in your circle that sometimes they can pull on you, but they just there to just like, I ain't got no issues, I ain't got no problems. I'm just here to be a support role, or I'm here to just have fun with you, or I'm here to just, we being candid, here to have a drink with you. I'm here to, you know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? It's those things that us believers and people don't want to talk about, but that's what's freeing people. Like, you don't have to be ashamed of what you do, and all of those things. The more bold you are, the more freer people will get, the more freer people are going to become. But the more we put everybody in a box, and everybody, you can't get here and you can't do this because you're doing that. No, who are you reaching? At some point in time, I told somebody the other day, said we got to stop talking to the same people. The same doggone people in church you've been preaching to, talking to for 5 years. We're the new people that need to come in here. But it's the people that go out there and say, well, if I tell y'all that I'm drinking, are you going to put me out? If I tell you that I'm smoking, are you going to put me out? If I tell you that XYZ is going on, are you going to put me out? Or are you going to welcome me and love me through my process, through that part of what I might be corrected on some stuff. Everybody's journey is not the same, but at the same time, is the love that you say that you have and it shows through Christ, is that going to be what it is that you're going to show me, or immediately I'm cast out? No. So the inspiration and the transparency is like, man, I love the Lord can preach scripture, can teach a scripture inside out if they ask me to, but at the same time, it ain't.
That's it. Woo, that's it.
If they ask me to, at the same time, at the same time, the importance is knowing really the love of God, and that the love of God really translates to, I understand where you are. I understand where you are, what you got going on, that we're imperfect. And because we're imperfect, we're gonna mess up. We're gonna get it right for a couple of times. We're gonna mess up again. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna mess up again. Or we hurt, we're gonna mess up again. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. But that's the point of the transparency, man, is just, you ain't out here by yourself, and everybody ain't all high sedity and so wanna, cast you down because of that. Like, it's real believers that really have a heart of God and want to see people feel the love of God. And I had, the crazy thing is, I didn't get it until my mama passed away.
Wow, really?
I did not get it until my mama passed away, man. And that became, that right there is what set this course. And I have, gave my life to the Lord many years ago, studied the scriptures many years ago, and things of that regard. But it was not until my mom passed that my eyes became open to something that was completely and totally different, that I don't think I even realized existed, with the love of God, until she passed away. And that's crazy. Yeah.
You saying that's crazy, but I can almost kind of touch your hand and say high five on it, because I really didn't realize that's how we do it. I really didn't realize, and and if I didn't say it before, your mom was a beautiful person. I met her, of course, years ago. We didn't get together, hang out and all that kind of stuff, but she was a beautiful person.
Right.
I mean, even even closer to the end, I think when y'all had an event for her, I sent her a message and she sent me a message back, which was very touching, because we weren't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One thing that I can totally agree with you on is when my sister died, when Jackie died. Mama was sick. Mama was in the nursing home. Mama was in the process. You know what I'm saying? But Jackie, it was totally by surprise.
Yeah.
So when you're saying that, I can totally understand what you're saying, because you don't, and I don't, we're just being real. We're just being real.
Right.
Don't handle it. You can turn us off. I don't give a flap. I don't care. I try to be
whatever,
girl. But
girl, listen, you and me both.
I thought that I had the best people that would pick me up, carry me on their shoulder, and all of that. But during that process, I found out how many people were really, I did find the good, but I found the big bad too. I found out how many people really didn't understand what this pain was that I was going through. And instead of you telling me to cry, to fuss, whatever I wanted to do, you telling me, oh, it's going to be okay. I'm sorry. I don't know about you. Yes, I do. That's a bunch of bull s. Because I'm sorry. You can't tell me that, because I went through a part of the process where everybody said, well, just why are you laughing? What you mean why I'm laughing? Because I would think about something that she would do, say, or whatever that we had connection with, and it would crack me up. Watching Tyler Perry. We watched Tyler Perry, and Jacob would love it. She just died off laughing. So I would watch Tyler Perry over and over and over just to laugh. But when the movie was over, guess what I did? I sit there and cried. I boohooed and cried because I knew she wasn't here. But at the same time, that was the point where I knew that I had to either stick to the promise that I made her, which was really, literally 30 days before 30 some hours before she died. She called me and said, I want you to promise me that no matter what, you won't give up. Okay, who's gonna say no to that, right? So I said yes, but then it was like, she's like, no, I'm serious. But did she know? I don't know. But at the same token, that is when we get into that place where we know who we are. Like you say, that was your turning point. I mean, I've been in church, good girl, all's the life. Prayer meeting, 5 or 6 weeks of revivals, the whole 9. But at the end of the day, it took something that devastating to put things in perspective.
Yeah.
All day long, but that is not what I needed. I needed something else. And I think we, as the body of Christ, we're missing that. We're missing realness and telling people, look, yes, you're gonna cry, yes, you're gonna be upset. But I can remember Maribel Eccles saying to me, she said, Victoria, she said, I haven't lost a sister, but I will tell you You do whatever it takes for you to get through. And so I
Yeah.
encourage you and anybody else out there listening, do whatever it takes for you to get through.
Yep.
Because that's your
Yep.
breakthrough moment. That's your break.
Yeah, that and the healthy part of doing what it takes to get through. And then when you get to a place of it being reckless, because I went through that phase too. I
Girl.
went through a reckless phase.
Yep, me
and
too.
still try not to be reckless right now when I get overwhelmed and my
Yeah.
feelings are overwhelmed. But that's true, man. The crazy part is after my mom passed away, it was three people that I knew: the bass player that plays with me at the church, the pastor at the church that I play for, and then she's younger than me, but we grew up in a church called Hedges and Highways. And after my mom passed, those folks, those three people, mothers passed away. And the crazy thing about it is knowing that the journey is what, because it's almost like if I hadn't experienced and knew the connection with them, then how would I really been able to tell you how to not freaking faint? You know what I'm saying? When you feel like fainting, how to not tell you, or to tell you it's okay to faint. Matter of fact, if you feel like fainting today, get up under the rock and go on and faint. But then what you do tomorrow is different.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? But if it wasn't for that process, man, and even the process still ain't done. I'm sitting at work and have moments a lot of times thinking about my mom and wanting to pick up the phone and call her, especially, with this event that's going on, and just have those different type of conversations with her. I want to have that, but at the same time, it's like I'm learning how to allow the pain. I told somebody the pain to continue to produce purpose, to produce purpose, because you're either going to, I learned this and I didn't get it, man. A lot of time, and like you said, man, and I'm not knocking nobody, because the Lord can give us divine revelation. He can give you the understanding of things that you may not have really truly experienced, but he gives you that because that's the type of God that we serve. He's all knowing, all seeing, so he can give you that. But there does come sometime a difference when you experience some things
that right
with
there,
the knowledge that you have gotten, and that right there becomes the truth. That's the testimony. That's why it's living and breathing, because it's living. The word of God is going to live and it's breathing all by itself. But then when it comes from a vessel that already is experiencing that, then that just ties in the extra access to it that really penetrates the soul and the flesh of who we are, and people don't get that. But once I learned that experience, man, taking pain and producing purpose, or either you're going to take pain and become bitter. And people don't know how real that is. People don't know how real it is to become. And when I say bitter, it's because pain is an emotional state. It's not a spiritual state. It's a fleshly state. It's an emotional state. And so if we don't know how to react and respond, I still ain't got it down.
Girl, I ain't either.
Clearly. But if we don't exercise the wisdom that comes along with understanding that pain is an emotional state, and we have to choose to not be one way or the other. We have to choose to not accept it. And when we just allow ourselves and our emotions to drive us into a bitter state, an angry state, certain things, even with the spirit, if we ain't pulling on the Holy Ghost, the Spirit of the Lord, or even some people out there that your higher being, however you want to call it, because I ain't knocking nobody. However you want to call it. For me, it's the Holy Ghost, but I'm not knocking your journey. You know what I'm saying? But it's if we don't pull that in and tie it in and say, I want to be better. In pain, you have to make the choice to be better. You have to make the choice to overcome. And a lot of times, the pain that we deal with is so hard to deal with. It's so hard to go through, that instead of us going through the pain and really feeling it in our body, like it's been nights that I have set up crying, and I literally have been tired just from crying.
Yes,
just from
ma'am.
shedding tears.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
stomach is tight, like you done did crunches, parts of your body is aching that you didn't feel. That's because not only am I allowing my emotion to go through it, but I am allowing the physical aspect of it to go through it, because it allows me to push through the pain and not just sit it on me. Because when you sit it on you, then that's where it's like, oh, this is too heavy for me to bear. And then it starts making you angry. It starts making you bitter. It starts making you want to move in a way that you shouldn't, versus I got to bear through it. Let me bear through it. Let me feel the pain. That's one thing about intercessors, man.
Come on, girl. You better tell it.
Intercessors feel the pain because they have no choice. That people that intercede on behalf of other people, like Jesus did, and he said he's on the right hand of the Father interceding on our behalf. Jesus himself bore the pain. He bore the pain, but he bore it so that he can get to the other side of what was supposed to be. But when we don't bear it, we can't get over there. So now that other side of it becomes completely obsolete because we stuck at the pain of it. So now you're just dealing with this one side of pain, hurt, and then because that wall is there, you're just bitter. You're bitter because you can't move past it. You're angry because you can't move past it. You don't know how to move past it. You don't know how to go through it. You don't know how to do any of those things. And that is what I believe the Lord is trying to show me, because I'm scared of that place, Vicki. I'm scared to become bitter and angry and mad, because I feel like it will change my personality. I feel like it will change the people that I talk to. I feel like it will affect everything in my life. And I, like you said, we tell our age, I don't want to be 60 years old mad at what happened when I was 37 years old. I don't want to be 60 years old mad, because the fact of the matter is the world keeps going. The world keeps going. And if we don't learn how to deal with it, then we're stuck. And people don't think that you can really get stuck in time. So you get older, but you become stuck in time, and that is what is important to me, is just being able to show the process of how to not get stuck, how to not, because yes, we can read scriptures all day, but it's somebody out there that ain't gonna ever pick up a Bible, and they need to know how to still not be stuck. It's somebody out there that threw their Bible in the trash because of the fact that they so pissed off at God. You know what I'm saying? Because of what has happened in their life. It's somebody that will never step foot in a church. It is somebody that will never proclaim that Jesus is Lord. But something in their life can be shifted because of the truth that you share from your own personal experience, man. And that's it. That's where I'm at.
Well, you are at the place, and let me just tell you, I am glad that you're at that place right now, because what you said was very on point. Because my sister's been dead 14 years. It took me 12 years. No, it took me 3 years before I had a breakdown and cried.
Okay.
It took me 12 years to be comfortable, because I was stuck. Everybody saw me on the outside, thought I was good, right? But I knew I was stuck, right? So I couldn't talk about it. I mean, I think this year was the first year that I have went through that day and not relived the whole entire day. You know what I'm saying? It's been 13 years, because my mom died a year after she did.
Okay.
It was 4 years before I would have a serious cry about my mom. So here I am, I'm dealing with both of them. But 13 years later is when I can say I'm good now, because I was stuck, because I was trying to be strong for this one and that one, and not let my emotions get, because I'm the youngest, because because oh, I'm the preacher, I'm the this, I'm the that.
Yeah.
But I had to say, excuse me, saints, ain't saints out there. I said, what the hell?
Right.
I'm tired. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cuss.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna have my Moscato, and maybe 2 or 3 of those. Stella Rosa. Yes.
Long Island iced tea, me please.
Girl, you better say that. Say that. But at the end of the day, when I got through, because I was mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking the truth. I was mad. I mean, I had just preached my initial sermon, and 30 days later, my sister dies. What you talking about, God? Is you crazy? How you gonna do
Yeah.
that? 30
Yeah.
days?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you gonna take mama the next year? What? What are you talking about? Oh, you expect me to be a lot okay with this, right? But see, when we talk real like that, people in the church don't understand. People in y'all folks, I don't know how to say
Them
it.
people.
Y'all folks, them
But
folks,
I said them people. Yeah.
them peoples that don't really, I appreciate you. Like I appreciate you praying. I really do. I appreciate you speaking tongues. I really do. I appreciate you preaching. I really do. But can I have 5 minutes? Can I have 5 days? Can I have 10 days? Can I have my 13 years?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
want to hear none of that. But at the end of the day, if somebody had been honest like you are right now and said, "Look, girl, get it together,"
Yeah.
you can have that moment. Like I said, it was later when Mary Bell said that to me. You can cry. You can do whatever you want to do. You can punch a hole in the wall. So whenever I hear anybody passing now, I am quick to tell their family members, punch, excuse me, the hell out of that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Be it the
Mm-hmm.
natural wall, real wall, go to the gym, run, cry, laugh, do whatever you got to do. But don't waste
Yeah.
13 years of your life and not being
Yeah.
able to express it.
Right.
Because
And
you
let me
do
say
become
this.
better.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like we ain't knocking the church.
No,
We
we're
go to
not.
church, we'll shout, we'll preach a house down if need be, we'll pray to heaven and touch all the heart of God. But it's just understanding that
Yes,
the church is one phase of it. There's a world, there is a world that's out there of people that
that's true.
it is. So we're not knocking church.
No,
We're
we're
not
not.
knocking anybody that we're just reaching outside of that because that's what it is. How else are they going to come into the fold or even the knowledge of God without stepping outside of those places? But yeah, that's what I tell people, and people will tell, and that's what I got myself. One of my best friends, her mom died years ago too, and her mom died, and then I know a recording artist who's his mother passed away, and they would always tell me it's not going to get easier.
No,
I literally 2 days ago I had a conversation with a friend of mine named Rachel, and when she answered the phone, I said, "I'm sorry. How do you do this? How do you do this?" Her mom passed away 3 years ago. Her dad passed away when she was 14. So she has neither one of her parents. And how do you do this?
how
I
do you
don't
do it?
understand how, because when I'm working or working on my show or working on a book or even at my job, you can kind of like take your mind away from it for a moment. But then when you have that moment and it's like, because I have moments like, let me call my mom right quick.
Girl,
Doggone it, I can't I can't call her
girl.
right now. I can't call her right now. And then in my head, I ask myself, who does that? Like, who does that? Who says, let me call somebody? And then the reality of it is it just can't happen. And I can't fathom it. Like, my brain will not allow me to understand it, on some phases. But I had people around me that, would say, take your time, and I couldn't stand, I had wrote down, it's going to be okay. I told the people, I said, I can't stand when the people say that to me. Just don't say it. You better off saying, I don't know what to say.
Exactly. Just don't say
I'm
nothing.
here. Just
Yeah.
don't say nothing, because if you say it's going to be okay, I'm going to look at you and I really want to say, I probably want to, by that time, it's going to be, it's like 5 cuss words that came through my head.
Girl, I'm with you. You got only a 5, but I got about 10.
You better off saying it's going to be bad to me than okay.
Yeah.
Just say the bad part of it. Then when you say the okay, immediately stuff goes out. You fade into the dark in the walls, and then I just hear cuss words and a lot of them. So, but that's it, man. And the crazy thing is, me and my baby sister went to we went out of town. Let's just say that we went out of town not too long after my mom passed, and I was over there crying, walking around outside. I was by myself. Called my cousin because, you know, my cousins was definitely support systems. I would call because I had to get people in my circle and around me that I didn't have to explain to them how I felt.
That part.
I didn't have to explain it to them. I didn't have to. I didn't have to explain why.
That's
because they knew it. Like my friend Stephanie, my friend Carrie. Carrie and I have been friends since we were in 11th grade. Stephanie and I have been friends for a long time, done music together. My cousins that know and met my mom had that opportunity. And I said I couldn't, when I would call just to want to talk to a friend, if I had to express how I felt, like why I feel sad, I was like, I can't talk to you right now.
Exactly.
I can't talk to you right now. But when I was in out of town with my baby sister, I was out walking around and I just was crying. I was just like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This norm is a norm that I'm unfamiliar with. And I'll have therapy sessions. I continue to go through therapy. I tell my therapist all the time that I want to make sure, I want to know and have the tools to even, you know, I can say right now today to not be bitter, but then the feeling and the emotion may come back up in 7 years. And then I can deal with the same phase of it and make myself, then I could possibly become bitter at that time, because it's still a process. Like everything, it doesn't end. As long as we hear, you grow in the process, but then it's going to come right back around and you got to figure out, did I use the proper tools at this time? Maybe I didn't. And here it is, because every season that we forget about seasons and don't appreciate seasons. That's why I'm looking at the show that we're talking about, because there are seasons that happen that prepare us for seasons that we don't even know. The seasons that's unknown.
That's right.
So it's like you come in contact with people, you get to know people and you experience people, but you don't really realize in our minds that seasons that happened 5 years ago was preparing us for this very moment in time. But we just didn't see this season. We just didn't see the moment. We thought it was for something else. So I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Because this norm is not normal to me. I don't know how this emotion that I feel is not a normal emotion. I'm a person that typically I'm pretty good at controlling my emotions, controlling my feelings and controlling certain things. And I felt myself going, I went to therapy for this one reason. Carrie, the one I said that we've been friends with since I was in 6th grade, since I was 11 years old. She said, I need you to talk to somebody.
There you go.
Because your behavior is changing and it changes so quick. You get angry too quick, and that's not typical. Like, you know, I got a sister who is crazy because our birthdays is just a couple days apart and we're like night and day, but then we love so hard. And, you know, her response typically might be to fight first, ask questions later. I'm gonna ask questions. My natural me is I'm gonna ask questions first, and then if I got to fight, that's a whole different ball game. Then it got to a point where I stopped asking questions. If you said something that pissed me off, I'm gonna let you know that it pissed me off. I don't have to explain to you why it pissed me off, because there is no need for me to even have a conversation with you about it because you pissed me off. Like, it was levels like that. So the moment that she said, I need you to talk to somebody because something is really going on with your emotions that I don't think anybody else is going to really be able to handle until you're able to get it out in a healthy setting, to where somebody can give you the proper tools and the proper things to be able to deal with it today, and then be able to deal with it 7 years from now and 10 years from now and 22 years from now, that you're still dealing with it. But when I was in out of town with her, and I'm walking with my sister, and we're walking I was out there walking around, and I just cried and asked her, well, what am I supposed to be doing? And I battled with, years ago, I would battle with, like you were talking about the podcast, because we grew up in church. You know, I grew up in church. Both my mama preached, daddy preached, you know, all of that good stuff. I loved it. No, I didn't mind going to the church because I love music. So I was like, hey, it's gonna give me a chance to get on the drums, you know, and different things like that. But and knowing that I battled years because we're used to not moving because we're waiting on people, or we're waiting on church, or even the pastor that we submit to. We know that God has given us a something to do. It may not have to be that we get in church and stand behind the pulpit and preach, but it's we know that God has anointed us for something, or giving us a gift, or giving us something to do, but we're waiting on the confirmation and the affirmation to come from people and saying that, yeah, move on this. Yeah, it's time for you to start talking about that. Yeah, it is time for you to do that. Whereas, so we're holding up stuff because we're waiting on somebody else, whereas the Lord himself has given it to you. Because now here's the catch. With everything that you get, it comes wisdom. It comes with him, because the Bible even talks about, and all that I get and get an understanding. Now, just because he gave it to you don't mean to immediately move. It requires you to get maturity in it, get knowledge in it, get tried by it. Come on. At the same time, and then go back and explore, move things that don't need to be there, and pull it back together, and then figure out how to wrap it up the proper way. Because a lot of times people get saved and they see preaching as the first thing, and everybody want to preach. Well, baby, how long? Everybody. I'm gonna get off of that one, but it's the truth, though. It's the truth. Everybody, and that's one. Sidebar. That is the one place that people will allow people to just occupy positions that they don't need to be in, and they keeping other people that should be in the position out of their place because they too afraid of moving that person out of the place into the where they're supposed to be. So now you got a person that can have an anointing to sing standing on the door. You got an anointing to sing and shift the atmosphere, but instead you're standing on the door because the lady that has the best hospitality spirit ever is too busy thinking that the light shines at the choir. So you up there leading everything and can't sing, baby. And when is that okay? When did that become okay? It's okay here because we're too used to appeasing people and wanting to make sure everybody is okay. Don't want people to go away. But at what point in time does it say, well, I need to make sure people are in the right place, that they have the right gifting for, the right calling? Because at that time, where what God has set for us to do in the kingdom of God will be set in the proper order. But because people are out of order, I'm going to put that period right there. I'm going to put a couple periods behind it, and I'm going to leave that where it's at. But you're telling the truth, and you are exactly you're on point. But you're on point though, because that's the reason why we have the discrepancies in the church. Like you said, we're not knocking the church. We've been in church all our lives. I've been in church all my life. Lord Jesus, I probably know every pew if I counted them. But at the end of the day, like you said, we're holding people hostage and we could come, oh, you've been laying in dormant. No, I wasn't laying in dormant. You just didn't let me act. You didn't let me use my skills. You kept me in bondage when I'm sitting here struggling. And and the thing is, the more, because I never wanted to be a preacher. That was just not my point. I didn't want that. But it is what it is. I guess God thought he needed a crazy person to do it. So, yeah. But anywho, at the end of the day, there's some people that we're holding them in bondage by saying, you don't know, I don't know you. I look at you and I don't know. She'd be good at the drums, but I don't know if she could preach. No, let me just keep on the drums. You don't know that the playing the drums. You don't know that me ushering is me ushering in the spirit. You don't know that it's me, bringing in the music to the ministry. You don't know that me talking to other people is bringing people to the ministry. But if we keep holding ourselves bondage, if we keep holding our brothers and sisters bondage and not utilizing the skills that God has given them, sidebar, as you say, who left anybody in charge to figure out what God was going to do for us anyway? I'm sorry. I don't think everybody got the key to the. I didn't think it was a whole lot of keys to the kingdom. I'm just sorry. Who died? Who left you in charge to say, this is the only thing that I can do? Yeah. And that's true. And the crowd was just right. And how you said, you know, that they hold us in bondage. And then when you speak up for yourself, it's like you're shunned because you spoke up for yourself. But at the end of the day, the same way that you can stand behind a pulpit and preach the gospel, you're still human. The same way that the person that's sitting in a pew that hasn't opened up their mouth, but the moment a song come up, is still human. So we have the right to fight for there's a right way to go about it. There's a discreet way, because the thing is, you know, sometimes we get so angry and get so pissed off that we immediately, no, you know what I'm saying? And then ain't nobody want to hear that no way. At that time, by that time, you don't want to hear it anyway. You know, but with all of it, it comes a time where it's okay for you to fight for what you believe that the Lord has given you, whether it's your gift or whether it's your calling, whatever it may be, it's okay to fight for it, because society tells us to just take it laying down and just do it and allow that to be pushed over to the side and fall in line to what the status quo is, fall in line to what it's supposed to be like, and what things are supposed to be. And it's okay to not follow the status quo. It's okay to not follow the church status quo. I told my mama before she passed away, and she looked at me like, what? I said, Mama, you do know I will stand behind the pulpit and preach in a sweatpants outfit. You know that, right? She looked at me like, huh? I said, yeah, I done stood behind the pulpit in a hat, and still gonna do it again. Because at the same time, my attire is respectable. It's a respectable attire. It's presentable, but it's just not the norm of what it looks like to people. But it's other things. But that's what it was. And like I said, when I was out of town, I told the Lord, what is it? And the Lord just saying, I've been gave you what it is that you were supposed to do. And you're waiting on it to move. I didn't feel like I had been doing things with ministry. I had been doing things in church. But it wasn't until my mom passed away, which is crazy, that I didn't feel like that the actual beginning of my ministry really began.
Wow.
Until she took her last breath. And the reason being is because I sat back and wonder, if my sisters watch this, they might say, I didn't never say this to them, but I would wonder, like, you know, my mom's getting sick, able to talk, able to have conversation up until she wasn't. And I remember one day I packed a book and I got ready to record some stuff because I wanted my mama to give me some motherly wisdom. So I was gonna go write it down. Because I was like, shoot, she talking to everybody else, giving them some jewels and some nuggets. What do she got for me? And then I found that it wasn't too much something that was coming out of her. It wasn't too much that was coming out of her mouth, but it was so much more that was coming out of her spirit. I sat there and watched. I watched my mother, even until the day that she passed away, spend moments that she could giving the wisdom that she got over years to people that would come see her, that would come love on her. Finally being okay to forgive. I watched my mother at the last moments of her life. I just sat back and watched how she was already selfless. But I didn't think I realized that, because when you're watching your mom as a child, that's mommy, and she getting on my nerves like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But then when I took a step back and I just watched, unfortunately, it became my assignment to watch. I just watched. I watched what she did and how she strategically moved and how she set things in order, and how even to the last minute, she cared so much about her daughters and her grandchildren, and she cared about the people that would come see her, to where whatever it was that she saw, whatever it is that she heard, she would take her strength to give it to somebody else. Though she knew that it was close, she was giving. So I'm sitting back and I'm like, I'm watching this. So who am I not to give what has been given to me to somebody else? Who am I? And that right there is like the Lord was saying to me, like, it's like he was saying, I already gave it to you. You're waiting on somebody to give you the okay to do what I already told you. And then I'm like, I'm probably going to lose friends. People not going to want to deal with me, not want to talk to me, you know, and all of that good stuff. Probably lose relationships and romantic relationships and all of that good stuff because of that. But at the same time, it's like, I have to be willing to take that chance and be okay with it. And then to not do it. And when my mom passed, it's like I just became bolder. It's like because I didn't have nothing else to. I still got my daddy, love him to death. You know, I love my daddy. That's my dog. You know, we got my sisters, thank the Lord for them, and family and friends. But it's something about me that had to become bold because I didn't realize how much I depend on my mother, and didn't know that I did. But it was like, as I watched her, and I just sat back and I said, you know, when she passed away, and I sat back and I pondered and I said, man, my mama she walked away and showed me how to walk away. But it's almost like it became a time where she had to say, and why certain things couldn't be audibly given to me is because it became my job to watch the path that she walked. And she showed me the path. Then she had to move out of the way.
Right.
Who says that their mama had to move out the way? I feel like that there are doors that are open, that are favor that has rested upon me, that there's relationships that God has brought in. And even like, and with the Lord, Jesus is in heaven, sitting at the right hand of the Father, being, you know, as a mediator for us. My mama right beside Jesus for me.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Right beside the Lord for me, helping me, you know, and it wasn't until those moments that it's like I had to get out of the way because I paved the way for you. Now there is something else, and a mantle has to be switched, and now I have to give it to you, and I can't do it from leading you anymore. Only thing I can do is push you. I can't lead you anymore. I gotta push you. I gotta push you because if I stay in here, you're gonna be focused on me. If I stay right here, you're gonna be concerned about what I feel like and what I think about and how. So I can't be in the way anymore because now what's more important is not just our agenda, it's the agenda of God.
Come on, girl.
And that right there is no it. So that's what I feel like has opened up, you know, the opportunity for, you know, the show, open up the opportunity for, you know, my second book that I'm trying to, you know, get together, all of that good stuff, because I feel like in the shifting, it's a shifting of a moment, and it's learning how to move through it. But the important thing is the things of God that's happening right now, coming out of a quiet place.
Woo, girl.
Told somebody that the other day. It's coming out of a quiet place. It's not as loud as it used to be. And everybody thought that it's going to be a prophet screaming from the mountaintop, yelling this. No, it's real quiet. And then if we're not quiet enough and don't have together certain parts of us to be open enough to hear it, we're missed because it's quiet. But the crazy thing is, it's quiet things that are going to, I'm sorry, Vicki, it's quiet things that are going to happen on a big scale. And that's the crazy thing. Quiet things that will happen. Lord have mercy. We back. I'm sorry. No, quiet things that will happen on a larger scale. Those small things happen on a big scale. So the Lord's giving you direction in secret, but then exposing it so big. And that's what was talked about years ago. Okay? You know, and that's, I don't know, Vicki. I don't know.
See, I'm hearing you, and I gotta tell you that I wish I had to put you on gallery the whole time. But yeah, what else? You just got me so. Oh yeah, it's the screens, girl. It's.
Oh, you good.
Goodbye. Anywho, you know, you have no idea how much wisdom you are talking right now. There are people out there who need to hear this today. There are people that are going to be listening to this later. you just, okay, I'm not gonna cry today. I'm not.
Don't cry, baby.
I know, 'cause you,
Don't cry.
and we ain't gonna do that, girl. You know, we're too bad for that. We're too tough for that. But you have given wisdom that many people will never be able to get until it's too late. But if they take the time to hear you today, if they take the time to hear your heart, to hear your passion, there are people out there that you're saving by what you're saying today. I truly believe that God sent you at this point in my life to speak what you just spoke today. Because we don't talk every day. We ain't talk like nothing. But what you are saying is something that I needed to hear today. And if I'm hearing you, then I know there's other people out there hearing you. Michelle B. Hammond's out there. We got Lisa Dunlap's out there. Leslie Ferguson. All you guys out there, Sharice. All you guys, all the ones that are behind the scenes that are watching, that will watch. I ain't have time to say hello to y'all. Whatever. Y'all know me.
Hey, people.
What's up, y'all? we talking some good stuff right now. But see, she love y'all. See, that's all y'all need to know. So you have opened up so many different viewpoints. And again, I'm going to say this to the church. It's not we're not knocking the church. We are edifying. If you listen very closely, we're edifying the church. We're doing what the Bible teaches us to do, which is to build onto the vineyards and highways and hedges and talk to the people and give them the truth. And what you have given is the truth on today. I've been saying this for a while. You took the pain and you turned it into a purpose. And then you just summed it up by saying, it's, and I talk about the 3 S's. There's a reason why we have to be silent so that God can have a strategic divine plan for him to show up, but for showing up. There's got to be some silence for that strategic plan that's divine by God, for God to show up in us. And if we're not listening effectively, and you said it so beautifully, that experience with your mom prepared you. It didn't matter how long or short it was. It was a period of time that you needed to prepare you so that you could prepare the way for the rest of us. I know, I can't say what I know about you. I can say I know what it is, that loss of a parent, and I know that loss of a sibling. But until somebody's walked in your shoes, and I don't even like that phrase anymore either. Oh, girl, I know what you're going through. I walked in your, no. Because at the end of the day, your experience with your mom and what you went through is totally different from someone else's. We can sympathize. We can go that route with saying, I know that hurt. I know that everlasting hurt. I do know that. But your relationship was your relationship. But what you went through is helping prepare somebody else. They may not go through the same way that you had to go through it, but you're preparing them to know that there is another way. You touched on, going to therapy. And I'm going to say this, we as the body of Christ, we still got hangups about people going for therapy. That when they're in the church, you don't need nothing but. That is not true. If that's the case, then why are some of the people in the church therapists dead? I'm just saying, God just wants them to help the people out there in the street and not the people on the inside. I mean, what are you truly saying? I mean, because at the end of the day, it's not like that. We have to get to the point that, we as people, we as individuals, that we understand who and what we are and why we are. Because at the end of the day, what you have given today was truth. It was something that, like I said, you have no idea what I needed. You didn't have no idea. But you spoke truth to the point that now I can say, okay, God. So, that's all about, God. You've not been waiting for this long time, and you had to wait for me to get with LJ so I can figure it out. Okay, God, cool beans. Now I get it, you know. But it took you being who you are today.
Right.
And you are definitely helping other people. I can't even tell you how much you are helping me today. I can't even express it. You just,
I appreciate it.
girl, you just done growed up over the years. You just
It's your fault.
Girl.
It's your fault. Listen, it's your fault. But now I appreciate this.
I mean, you really are. You giving so many nuggets, and you know, I got a rule on the show, LJ.
Okay.
I got a rule. Okay. So any of y'all out there, y'all see this book? Let me see if I can turn it the right way. Okay. Y'all see this book right? Let me go this way. Y'all see this book right here? This is LJ's book, Becoming the Original You. I'm gonna need all of y'all to go out there to Amazon.com and buy 5 copies. Not 1 copy, 5 copies. Because if you buy 5 copies, that means you got a copy for yourself. I'm actually gonna order another one for myself, to be honest with you. I gotta get them. Okay, so you're gonna order a copy for yourself, but you're gonna order another copy for yourself so that you can write in it. Okay, you're gonna order another copy for somebody else who needs it. You're gonna order another copy for a book club, and you're gonna order another copy because there's somebody in your church, your pastor, your teacher, your preacher that needs a copy. 5 copies. This book right here is absolutely freaking darn tootin' amazing. And I am ashamed to say it took me this long to get it. I'm being real. I'm being real. I should have got it when it was fresh. But you know what? It's fresh now because I needed it right now. One of the things that I was sitting here reading the other night, and I said, girl, this chap done talked about me. I don't know why how she get my info. I ain't talked to this child. But you talk about emptying.
Yep.
I said, okay, she's talking about emptying, but you said in one of the captions, but it had to be done. It had to be done. She says, during this emptying process, I had to deal with the way I felt about myself. I never felt like I had confidence issue until I began to address the hurt. I said, why is she gonna be talking about me? I don't like her right now. Because I think a lot of times people see what I do and they say, oh, she's Wonder Woman. Oh, the hell ain't. I have issues. I have hurts that I still deal with. But on the same token, I'm emptying. So when I read that, I said, okay, see, she started talking about. So I'm not gonna read y'all all of it because then y'all got to buy 5 copies. I'm gonna leave y'all something to read. 5 copies, 5 copies. But then you start talking about isolation. Y'all mark this down, chapter 6. I said, I got to find my catch. I was fighting. I was fighting to stay strong mentally. I was fighting to believe that what was taking place in me was best for me. I was not willing to give in, so I accepted it. Why you gonna talk about me, little cuz?
First of all, you talking to me right now through my own words.
Well, that's how we work together. You guys.
Ooh, sweet Jesus. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What do you mean? How you gonna talk about me like that? Do you? Because people don't understand. I have people out there. Hey, Deborah Gravy, thanks for watching. I have people that they watch like you say every day. The people watch me every day, and they don't realize that sometimes it's a mental battle to do what I do. And sometimes, I I have to have my moment before I come on, and I have to pray about it. And then sometimes I'll be like, God, look, you ain't giving me none. What am I gonna talk about today? That's a mental thing for me, right? But then it got to the point where I was reading your book. I said, one of the things that she says is, I was ready to be taught. So I said, okay, God, so you mean to tell me that I'm going through all of this, even though I am the master life coach? I done been through some things. I done talked about some things. I've got classes going on right now. And I'm going, God, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that I'm still? And he said, you never stop being taught.
That's it. That's it.
Even if you think that you know what you know, you still never at the end of the being taught. And then you say, I was learning how to stand on my own. I had joy. I found peace, and now I was getting stronger. I found a solid rock, stability. I was becoming content, no longer going in whatever direction the wind took me. I was set on a path that was leading me to the truth, and I knew it. That was deep. So you mean to tell me in the midst of my isolation, you were leading me to my truth? Well, I thought, and he said, keep moving, keep moving. So then I went over to, and I was reading, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep moving. What are you talking about? The next chapter 7 is the movement. I said, okay. So as I'm going through your book, I'm going, okay, the movement. Okay. But I fell in love with learning. I fell in love with knowledge. I fell in love with becoming new. I was reborn. No, I hadn't quite figured out exactly what I was supposed to be doing in my life or with my future, but I believed that I was on the path of finding it. So let me pause right there and say this to you, my little dear sweet cousin, who've been looking through the glasses of my life. I kept saying to God, you know what? I know all of these things that you have me doing, conferences, classes, writing another book, doing this, doing that, and doing the third. But where is all of this going? Because I ain't talking about them. I ain't talking to people. I mean, it's just me and you talking. I have had people tell me that I'm out of the will of God doing what I do. I have had people tell me you need to shut it down. And every time I try to shut it down, God would say, no, he'll give me something else to do. He'll give me something else to do. And I'm like, wait a minute, where is this going? And you said, I fell in love with becoming new. When I read that, and I read it like 10 times, I fell in love with becoming new. I fell in love with becoming new. And now I got to tell you that that's one of my affirmations, because, I got a declaration board. So now, thanks to LJ, I have that that's on my board. So now I say, I'm falling in love with becoming new, because it feels good just to be me. I can teach it. And my students that are watching, they will tell you that I rip off their Band-Aids every Monday night. I pull out the stitches every Monday night. But I'm actually loving the hell out of being new. I'm going to be, y'all saints and ain'ts, if you don't want to hear me cuss, you know what to do. Click, clickety, click, click, click. But at the end of the day, I love being me. If you look at my appearance and you don't think that I look good, don't look at me then. Because when I look in the mirror, I see me. I have a health and nutrition coach that says I need to lose some weight. I know that. I'm a diabetic. I know that. I know that. That ain't, hey. Like you said, I went for the health. But I'm still loving becoming new.
Yeah.
Because every day that I breathe, that means I'm becoming new. All things are passed away. The old are passed away. Yesterday was just a thought. And then you say, and I'm not going to take y'all, 5 copies.
5 copies.
5 copies. Because 5 is that magical number. Y'all search your scriptures, y'all know what that means. But then you talk about in chapter 8, completing. I said, wait a minute. And she says, I made that choice. It's nothing that will happen overnight. I made up my mind to go after what that was spoken to me. Let me live. I got focused and I knew I was pursuing of something greater. Greater, y'all, greater. The truth that I have is not free. It is expensive and requires my life. So I'm going to say this to y'all again. She said in her book, this truth, and she's underlining bold letters, that I have is not free. It is expensive and it requires my life. My life is centered around this truth. Not only has this journey produced truth in me, but making your own journey reproduce the truth that lies within you. Buy the book. 5 copies. My students that are in the positive self-building course, I want you to buy this book. My class that I'm teaching right now, Eljay, is building positive self-worth. Some of the things that you talk about in this book is things that we talk about in the class. You have tapped into something that is absolutely amazing. I encourage, I said 5, but y'all might need about 10 copies. Because y'all got some people at y'all's churches that need to find the truth. And I'm not putting in the churches. I'm not, because I'm one of y'all. I mean, I do have something. I'm something at the church. But I'm gonna need y'all to get some copies. And I'm gonna need y'all to get the copies and distribute them at your churches, your social environments. Some of you might not go into the synagogues, if you will, the building, the 4 walls, but you need to get this book and share it. To my young people, and I hope your cousins is watching. And if they're not watching, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna let y'all young Perkins, y'all need to get this book. She's preparing you for this journey in this book. It's not a big book, y'all. It's really thin, but it's got her pretty picture on the front. It's got a pretty picture on the back. It's a beautiful book. The colors is amazing. It's amazing. She is just hot, man. I'm gonna be a marketer one day. Y'all, you young folks, get this book. Get the book. Get the book, anime. Get the book. Y'all want cake? Get the book. Get the book.
Vicky, like you don't have no idea. Like I wrote that book in 2013, man, and I'm sitting as you're reading the pages of the book right now. To me, it's making me want to go back and pick the book up to read to myself right now. I'm speechless because like the things that you read out it's like reminders. It's like remember, and that goes back into what I was talking about, those moments in those seasons before, because it's like the seasons before, like you have that and you got it then, and you thought it was particular for that moment because it was part of the journey, not knowing a couple years later you're gonna be smacked with the same thing. And the fact that you was able, you gotta go back and you gotta go back. Cause I pulled out, as I was preparing for my show, I pulled out books that I had, and I was like, I'm looking and I said, man, I put all of these books away. When it came down to my management company and everything, I just put them in a box in a closet, put it away and said, whenever that time come. And then, when you go through moments of like, you're moving, and then you get disappointed. Sometimes we just put the stuff inside a box, just like emotionally, physically, we put it in a box, put it up in the closet, and just act like it ain't there. And then hopefully it come back around at some point in time. And then it's like, so I was looking and I was like, man, and I got stuff written from 2009, 2010 written down and I looked at the pages of this book And I'm just like, man, that was one phase of my life. And I went through it and got disappointed, got hurt. Or I had to walk away because I had to do other things. I don't know how that's going to come about. I don't know how this is going to come about. But then it's like, it circles back around, and then it causes your mind to expand. It causes your heart to expand. It causes your spirit to expand, because it's like when you can see 2009 tapping into 2021 and see how much of that, it's like it is mind boggling. But then you really understand 2009 had a purpose for 2021.
You better say
just now what you just read, 2013, when I released that book, had a purpose for 2021. I couldn't see it in 2013,
wow.
But I see it now just by what you just said.
Wow.
That right there, I am blown away right now, like, because my words sound like words coming from somebody else.
Yes.
That is just helping me. I'm speechless.
So you might need to buy 5 copies too?
I need to buy 5 copies for myself. Dog.
This, I'm telling you, when I look, I done been to so much. I don't know if you can tell. See, it can probably stand up by itself. I have been to, and I have just like going back and forth, going, what was she? Where was she in my world? Because I'm just reading this, and I'm like, everything that you're saying in here, I'm just like, where did she? How could this little girl? Well, you know, you always gonna be a little bit now. How does little girl gonna know this stuff? She can't know this stuff. Somebody must have told her. You know what I'm saying? And I'm reading, I'm going, what? Wait. I mean, even when you start in the beginning talking about your love for the church and doing the things that you do, and you said, I couldn't find the plans and ideas that someone else had written for me. But on the other hand, I had never had a plan. My thing was, whenever the wind blew, I went. The plans and ideas of my parents and the influence of the things around me were implanted in my memory. I was running. And I'm sitting there going, dang, does she not understand that one of the things that I say in the class is, you're not your parents. But our parents were great. Don't by no means. You know, I told my sister this today, amazing parents. But there was things now that I'm just like, that wasn't about me. It was about them. There was things that they needed to go through. That wasn't about me. But when I started reading this book, and then you said chapter 3, y'all, look, have you ever read a book and you just skip, you go all the way through it and then you come in? Chapter 3 is the shut off, y'all. The shut off. As I stated in the previous chapter, what I spoke to me came from within. Knowing this, I had to realize that in order to find the truth, I had to take a step back and really look at myself. Really? Why don't you just call me and say, cuz I'm talking about you, just want to let you know. I'm like, okay. I mean, there are days that I have actually stopped in my track and just, okay. I stopped in my track and just didn't do anything. Like I have a seminar coming up on the 7th that I'm still going, God, why do you keep adding stuff to it? I ain't finished doing the PowerPoint for this one. What you trying to do? He said, take a step back, move. And I'm like, and then I open your book and you talking about, I was like, wait a minute. So for a couple of days, I did nothing. I didn't touch the computer other than making sure my postings went out. Other than that, but take a step back and then, okay, you really got me with forgiveness.
Go ahead with forgiveness. I'm gonna come back. Go ahead.
Girl, y'all, 5 copies, 10 if you need. Forgiveness. She said, I'm ready to learn how to forgive. I'm ready to learn forgiveness. I said, first of all, there's a friend of mine that I hope she's going to be able to watch later. Her name is Kiana Brown. If you have never heard her, LJ, look her up. Kiana Brown is the forgiveness queen. Okay. She is the forgiveness queen. I pump up everybody. And she is I call her a forgiveness coach. And she talks about forgiveness, right? And so I'm sitting here reading your book, and I'm thinking about an interview that I had with her. And I'm going, wait a minute, did they get together and have a conversation? Because, and I don't want to tell her whole story, but she went through going to prison to forgive other people. That's what she learned, right? And I'm just kind of paraphrasing. But then I'm like, you said it, and I think in one of her things, she said it. You said learning forgiveness is not an easy thing. Not only do you have to be forgiving, but you also have to learn to forgive. Well, that part right there. That part right there. Then you say forgiveness is the highway to freedom. And then you go back to I got stuck. I'm like, this little kid. I don't know where she get this stuff from. Then you talk about learning to forgive was about me. Letting go of the pain. It was about no longer holding people responsible for how I was, the way things were, and the way I felt. It was about removing blame. No longer living by, it's your fault, I'm like this. I realized that I had to become my excuse. I had become my excuse to never forgive and never move on. Okay, so can I just tell you, you ain't got to talk about me like that behind my back. I'm good with that. But this is one of the things I talk about. It's on page 37.
I wrote that.
You make me get you right now. It's on page 37. It's the second paragraph.
Okay. All right.
So I read that and I said, wait a minute. I teach in a class about building your self-respect and your self-worth. And I say, you got to quit blaming everybody else and dig deep inside of you to figure out what's going on with you. Because the root is deeper than all of this stuff on the outside. This is your space. Everything else is atmosphere. This is your space. And I'm reading this and I'm like, I don't know. Really? I got to forgive? Really? Because that's the letting go of the pain. But just suppose. And then you say, so I dealt with it. I'm like, okay. The ability to forgive and move on came out of my tears. I didn't need the person I was forgiven to be with me. I didn't even need to tell them that I forgave them. This was just about me. So a lot of people are sitting around saying, I need to tell LJ that I'm sorry, girl. And you done forgot about what I said anyway. But I'm holding on to it and I'm not forgiving me. And I think it's also the reversal. I need to forgive you even though you don't even know that you did it. So see, I'm not gonna cry. So I had a conversation. See, and I hope this friend of mine is watching. I had this conversation before I read your book. I said there was a person in my life that I was deeply in love with.
Okay.
Deeply in love with. And when I met him, he was sick. He already had Lou Gehrig's when I met him. And so, but he chose not to have us and his family around. He made that choice, right? And so I'm not gonna tell y'all my business because then y'all be trying to know all my business, and then I have and I got a knife. I cut you. I can't shoot a gun, but I can cut you.
I can shoot.
You can shoot. I got the gun. Well, I got the knife. You got the gun. Good girl. We good. We covered. We family. We covered. But I was so I couldn't understand why. Well, how could you love me and love me unconditionally, but tell me that the best thing for me to be is not near you while you're going through this process, when that was what I wanted to do. And so as I was having this conversation with somebody else was when I realized that I had not forgave him be it that he died, I did not forgive him because he made a choice for me that he shouldn't have, or so I thought, right? But at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I had to come to this point that I said, I don't forgive him. I didn't forgive him. How? Okay, y'all, saved, sanctified, aunts and uncles, go on over there. I had to say, I don't understand how you think that that was going to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the person I was talking to said, well, you know, that's been how. I said, well, that was after my sister and my mom died. And then he gonna turn around and do that jump.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, you gotta learn how to forgive. I said, you know what? You gotta learn to get out of my face because you don't know me like it. You just getting the opportunity to know me. Hello, how you doing? But then I picked up your book. And I'm like, really? Really? You had to tell me 10 copies. I need everybody to get your copy.
And you know what was crazy, Vicky? Even to go back real quick when you said you had to take a step back, because forgiveness is deep. But you know how I was talking about writing. You know how I wrote that book?
Oh gosh.
I wrote that book. I have books in a box, and it's books, literally composition books, journal books. I hate saying journaling. I have them stacked in a book, pages, front pages, back pages, for days. I have books that said, well, I have one book that was titled Becoming the Original You, going in, mapping out what the book was going to be like. I did research on all of it. And then I never forget, it took me the longest to get it out because I wondered how it was going to start. I said, Lord, you gave me this book. How is it going to start? And I just remember, I remember I was in the gym. This is when I was in the gym real heavy, and I got down real small. That's why that picture looked different than what I look like right now.
I was your hairdo girl.
Listen, I remember going to the gym, and I was in the gym, and I was like, I know I got this book. I got this layout of this book, and I got it, but I don't know how to start. I'm at the end of the book, but I haven't gotten to the beginning. I got chapter 2, I got chapter 3, had certain ones written out and didn't know how to start. And I never forget, I was sitting on the machine and all I began to hear is words coming to me. From the very first chapter, I can't, what the first word say? What's the very first word of that book right quick?
The first
chapter
word,
1.
Chapter 1 is the beginning.
The first sentence, what's the first sentence say? What
dreams do you have?
Uh-huh.
Better yet, what dreams were you given?
Okay, that right there. I remember sitting on a machine and I was pushing that joint up. And the only thing I remember is those words coming to me just like that. And it's like it was a type of machine. I got up off the machine and got my phone and I sat on the machine just like this with the phone and started typing words.
Wow.
When I started that book, everything that I had previously written in my journals that I said, when it comes time for me to write, I need to pull this out and have this book. I think it's eight chapters in there.
Mm-hmm.
All 8 of those chapters came completely out of my soul. I never went back to any of the books that I had already written. I literally woke up for almost 8 weeks straight. I would wake up every single morning, not 8 weeks, it might have been 8 days straight. I woke up every single morning. And the moment I opened up my eyes, the next chapter came to me and I never opened up another book. All of the books. So it was almost like the Lord was saying to me is that I gave you things and you journaled and you wrote it down. But what you failed to realize is that you lived it. So you want to go back and find it so that it makes sense. But I need to give it to you because when I give it to you, because that's how you lived it, is what is going to produce a life for somebody else to live.
Wow.
And that's literally, because I remember,
wow.
I looked up, I looked up because I believe in all I get an understanding, right?
Yes.
I believe in anything that you want to do, even from a management company, my entertainment company, you go and you do research before you start moving. You understand what it looks like to get a contract, to read the contract, understand who gets what, all of that stuff. So when I knew I was going to write this book, I started going on how many chapters should the book have to get on the top sellers list on the national top seller list joint. I started going, okay, you gotta have this many chapters. Well, I don't think I'm gonna write that many. I don't need like read books that long. Hold on a second. All
That's
of that
right.
stuff. Like I have all of that written out to follow through. But the Lord said to me, I don't need you to pick nothing up.
Wow.
I need it to come out of your spirit, because the more it comes out of your spirit, the more it will breathe life to people. But the thing is, we've become so bogged down with everything else and everything that we learned that we don't know how to, because we concerned about how it is presented.
Yes.
We're concerned about how it's presented, how it's produced, to make sure nobody has any room for anything to be said about it, all of that good stuff. When I finished writing my book and realized it was as thin as it was, I said, Lord, who gonna read this thin book? It ain't gonna get on nobody's top seller, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But what I began to understand is who is meant to reach is who is meant to reach. Whose life is meant to change is whose life is meant to change. Where it's going to go in and pull somebody out of a place of suicide and depression and hurt is where I need it to go. That's why it's written the way that it is. It's written in simple context. Simple. I ain't got a whole bunch of scriptures in there. I don't have a whole bunch of any of that in there. And I did that for that reason, because it's more important to be able to reach people. For me, since 2013, that's out there, and somebody's life can be changed. I don't care if you never step foot in the church. You ain't gotta go to church. But as long as you out there and you okay.
That's it.
You as a person is okay. You might never say Jesus, but you as a person that got a soul in your body and nobody ever took time to speak to you, as long as you are okay.
That's it.
I did my part. I did what I believe the Lord has given me to do, because it's not just, we forget about those people that really don't have nobody. And I think that's what it was. And I think ever since then, just you bringing that book back to me is reminding me, even in this process of what I'm going through, you know, for the show, is that it's not about anything else other than the people whose lives will be changed by what has been produced in its time, because you live and you breathe this every day, all day. But I just remember, and how you said take a step back, because the divineness of it, the Bible says to study to show yourself approved, a workman that needs not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. How you rightly divide the word of truth is when you no longer just teach what you see, you become what you see. Come on, you become what you hear. You become the lesson. That's what Jesus did. I never did. Me and my mom, we got into it. I said, Mommy, Jesus is the greatest example in the Bible. And she said, well, how dare you, bring Jesus down to an example? And I said, what you mean? But to me, it really was, because Jesus was more concerned with people feeling the love and the life that he lived. He was so concerned with the well-being of the soul, because the end result was that if I'm not the one to take you to the church house or bring you to me, the fact that you had an encounter at some point in time, that moment and that encounter will come to the surface, and you'll know where to pull, and it'll guide you right where you need to be. That's all that matters.
That's it.
That's
girl.
So, listen, all I'm saying is what you're doing right now, I don't think you realize, because like I said, it's still a battle, backwards and forth in the emotions and the feelings. And then it's still a battle on, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I moving in the right way and moving in the right direction? But even those words right now coming out of your mouth back to me is breathing life to me, is making me feel like crying, because when you feel like you're by yourself and you feel like you're on a journey that that is there and you see it before you and you wonder how, like if people really knew the story.
Right, that part.
People really knew the story. If people really knew the battle of it's going to be okay, no, it's not, I'm overwhelmed. If people really knew the battle of Jesus, can I please not become an alcoholic? Because sometimes I feel like that's what I need. Those things, you know what I'm saying? Those different things. If people really knew what the cost of it to try to produce something that breathes life to somebody else, and then you don't even realize that it's breathing life to you.
That's it.
What you just did is simply breathe life directly back to me through words that I wrote years ago.
Girl.
And that's
and see, that's the thing. I mean, I don't think, it's not, we use the cliche, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about God. Okay. But how does he get that word? How does he get it out there? He uses it through us. So at the end of the day, you're going back in time, if you will. Yeah, you go ahead. Woo! You're going back in time, but it was right on time. This is an on-time word for right now. The other thing when I was reading your book was, I was like, did she realize that we just went through a pandemic? And I'm reading the book going, look, some people, they be talking about, we got an afterlife or whatever, how we talk. Right. Look, I'm like, did she realize we just had a pandemic? Wait a minute, she said she wrote this book. You said you wrote this book. Now, I believe you wrote this book in 2020 because this is pandemic stuff right here. This is, we've been isolated.
Right.
We had to step back, man.
You know what's crazy? And this is about timing, man. Like literally, somebody asked me today, what's going on with your book? Because I don't too often talk about my book. Literally today, I was up preparing for the show and doing some other promotional stuff. What's going on with your book? Oh, you haven't been pushing the book from 2013? No, I'm working on the second book. Well, I think you should work on that. I think you should work on pushing that again. And I'm just like, but for what reason? But I have no words. Because I have no words. Like something as small, like I remember, I got stories for days and I know, but I remember a couple of weeks ago, I said, I told the Lord before everything started happening, I told the Lord, I was talking to my sister and I said, maybe I need to stretch my spirit. They was talking about having dreams. I said, maybe I need to stretch my spirit. Maybe I need to stretch this. Maybe I need to do this and all of that good stuff. And I never forget, I was on the way because, I took the position of an executive pastor at Epic Church in Charlotte. Lord, him and I talk about it, Lord. So we was going to another church to fellowship, and they would, we was looking around, and I never forget, I was leaving at the house because I love shoes. If you see my house, I have a real bad problem with shoes. I have over 50 pair of tennis shoes, and it's horrible, right? And but I am not ashamed of it, and it probably will be even more than that in a couple of years. But long short of the story, it's words like this. I remember I told my cousin before I left, I was putting on a certain type of shoes, and I told him, I said, this right here lets me know I'm on time. This is the word that I used. I said, this is what lets me know I'm on time, because I was talking about shoes. I was putting on a pair of Nike Blazers. And I said, it's really only one type of people that wear these shoes, but I'm starting to see celebrities and other people take photos in it. And I didn't see it until I started wearing. So I got 3 pair of them. Unfortunately, I'm proud of it, and very much so is. And so I said, this lets me know, with fashion and certain things that I'm on time, because you start seeing it. It's like, okay, you're good. But I never forget, when I went to that church, the pastor stepped on the stage, and bruh had the same type of shoes that I had on. Wow. And what that did to me was it brought together the wording that I use is you're on time. It lets me know that I'm on time. Yes. Because the wording, and it's those little moments that that simply says, I'm showing you these small things real quietly, only based on so that you can understand that I have really graced you and what I have done for you prophetically years ago. Now those lines are beginning to line up and you have no idea what you're giving to them. And I'm just, the only thing I'm doing, I'm talking real strong right now. But ask me about 20 minutes, and you can send me a message.
I'll tell you later
about how I'm feeling. And then I'm probably going to be like, I feel like dying a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Talking real strong. But it's those little things that the Lord is bringing back to be able to say, like how you reference in the book. It's just like those little things to let you know the timing. Because it's the little things that the Lord did at the beginning of our walk. And when we first came into the knowledge of him and really got hungry for him. When we mature, we get so used to, it's like a baby. Like when a baby is a baby, they're so used to eating baby food until something new, mature food is introduced to them.
That's right.
They no longer want to go back to the baby food. They don't want to go back to the baby because the baby food is no longer good to them. They done got salt, they done got pepper, they done got cheese and cookies and sweet and sugar and all of that good stuff. And nobody wants to go back to the state of being a baby. But sometimes it's necessary in God to go back to him just as a child so he can remind you why you chose to serve him to begin with.
Girl.
You
Girl. Woo. Girl.
And so it's those things like in this path right now, like every day I feel out. There's days where I wake up and I feel bad. There's days where I wake up and I feel overwhelmed. There's days that I wake up and I'll be like, how is this going to happen? If people knew the story, like I said, they would understand how are you promoting a show here in Charlotte and got a Grammy Award winner that's going to hit the stage for you the first time out. This is my first show as a promoter. I got a Grammy Award winner hitting the stage. I got a Stellar Award winner as the host and a host of other amazing singers and stuff. How do you do that? Because if they look at me behind closed doors, the Keisha, the LJ that you see right now is still that. But it's the one that's behind closed doors that you don't know my story or how you promoting the show and come check what my bank account look like.
Girl, if you don't stop.
If you don't know my story, all these shoes that I love, I ain't bought shoes in 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Come on there, tell it.
That. And I'm being very transparent. Like that just took a bit of my soul to even say those things because it's reality. It's the reality of it. It's the truth of the matter. But it's like those things is, I was talking to somebody, I said, people don't realize there's a real thing of called manufactured favor and the true favor of God. Manufactured favor is when you figure out how to move and manipulate systems that look so it works in your favor for you. It works in your favor. So you grab people's coattails and you do all of this other things. You make sure you're in the right place at the right time, saying the right thing. So now the picture that it's painted is that, this person is so favored by God because what comes out of their mouth is God. But what you fail to realize is that there is a set aside people that God has set for a particular moment. When we ain't got no money in the bank, the Lord opens doors that couldn't nobody. You sit back and wonder how the heck did you walk through this door?
Thank you.
How did you walk through this door? How did that open for me? I sit there and look, I stood in the mirror and I said, boy, if they only knew. If they only knew. You see the flyer. Yeah, you see this coming across the internet. Yeah, we hitting radio promotion. Yeah, all of this is happening. But if you really know, the one that's out here that's putting the blood, sweat, and tears behind it, if you really knew what the story was,
tell it.
You would understand that this ain't nothing but the grace of God, the glory of God, and the favor of God that is resting.
That's it.
And people don't get it. But the problem is not the problem, But the truth of the matter is you have to learn how to wait on the favor of God. The favor of God sits on you. It's there for you, but you have to learn how to be patient enough for it to, when it opens up, when doors begin to open up and it starts stretching for you, the wisdom of it is you got to get the discipline. I like it. You got to get the understanding of where you're going. Still working on that. All of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just,
right.
You know, and even in this conversation, Vicky, I'm just like, Lord, I'm just exposing my whole self. The way I normally protect myself, I feel so exposed right now.
Jesus. But
feel so exposed.
But you
right
blessing.
now.
You blessing.
You know, and I had to tell myself, you know, because what we, you know, it is people that wish bad upon you, and it's people that wish good upon you, and that's just what the reality is. But I trust God and know that every step that I take, that the Lord has already ordained it for me, and there's nothing that nobody else can do about it. So again, I'm going to talk about manifested favor and the true favor of God, because it looks different. It sounds different.
Say that.
It got a different testimony.
Come on.
It got a different testimony. It got a different journey, and it got a different way that has been made. Because when you really can look back and say, I don't know, I have no idea. All I did was I did the work that I knew to do, that I learned years ago, and that's all I knew how to do. But no,
So how really old are you?
Man, I'm like 60 years old.
I was getting ready to say, you got to be about 80, 90 years old or something.
Hey, I used to tell people all the time.
And I'm listening to you, and, you know, I'm listening to you, and I'm hearing my dad. I'm hearing my dad.
I can hear my mama.
Well, but you, well, that's
no. You know. No, I'm saying, I mean, got you.
I mean, you know, because I go to Daddy's house now, and you know, and I can't have those in depth. Don't get me wrong. Get the guy going, and he'll preach a whole sermon sitting out of his chair, right? But there's those other times that, you know, he sleep or whatever, or he just don't want to be bothered. And then of course when you call him and he can't hear you on the phone, and you're going, Daddy, and he's screaming, what? You know, but as you are ministering right now, as you are preaching to the massive right now, because that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. As you're preaching and teaching to the masses right now, from behind this screen right now, you are building generals. You're building soldiers. Stop. You're building generals and soldiers that can now move on. You know, through this whole process that we've seen major leaders passing, pandemic, whatever it is, being sick in general. And here you are, this little girl who is speaking so much power and wisdom that you are building other generals. There are some of us that's been sitting in ministry. Girl, I can sit right here and listen to you just like, let me get my ink pen out. Wait a minute. Did she? Let me write that down. Because at the end of the day, what you're giving is pure. If somebody had told me, oh, she's sitting there shooting, no, ain't no way you wrote down all of that. Ain't no way. What you're giving is direct word from God. It's a prophetic anointed word that you're giving on today. Now, you know, everybody else can say what they want to say. I know what I hear in my ear. I know what I hear. That prophetic word that you're giving right now is speaking life over not only my life, but you're speaking prophetically over some other people's lives. You have not even begun to see where you're going. You have not even touched the tip of the ink pen for the next book, and the next book, and the next song, and the next book, and the next book. the next book, the next book, the next sermon, the next ministry, the next program. You have not even tapped into it yet. But because you are giving of yourself today, because you, like you said, you're giving things that you normally would protect, but because you are giving it freely unto him, you're not giving it to Sassy Saturday. You're not giving it to the people out there. You are giving what you are giving right now. You're giving it freely back to God. You are having that moment where what he gave to you through your life, you're able to now give it back to God. Here, this is what you gave me. And now I'm able to work with it. Now I'm able to produce and manifest what you've already spoken over my life. Now I can manifest freely what you've given me because now I understand it. Even though you don't have it all, even though you don't know it all, we never do. But what you're given today is a prophetic word. And you talk about your mama standing behind you. I'm sorry, I do apologize for your inconvenience because I just have to tell you what I see. That light behind you that you might see in the screen, that's not no light, that's your mama. Because, I try not to do that because people don't understand me when I do that, LJ. But she is with you through this journey. That shining light, that when you go back and you look at this video, I want you to look right over top of your head.
But and it's not even strange because people have said it. I don't even know. I feel like crying. Right? I feel like crying, but it's true.
The anointing.
And that's all.
That anointing that you have is fresh. It is fresh. And it will continue to grow because at this point now in your life, like you said, you get it. It took you going through it. Your pain truly has purpose. Your pain has purpose. You are blessing me so on today. I am just overwhelmed inside. I cannot wait to see your next and your next and your next and your next. I can't wait because I'm listening to you and I feel like I'm hearing my daddy talk of old of what was going to take place. I'm hearing you talk right now. And I'm like, my God, did she realize what she is giving out to the people? There are bishops that are sitting behind pulpits right now. There are apostles that are sitting behind pulpits right now that cannot give what you are giving on today. And they've been sitting on the thrones for years. But the fresh anointing that you are giving out today, that fresh anointing, that real you, that person right there, that person that your mama high-fiving behind your head, that person, that warmth that you feeling on your back, that's her holding you and pushing you to that next, girl. You have not even seen it. But it's when you talk about the mantle had to go somewhere. The mantle has to flow somewhere. The mantle that you are carrying is the mantle of a general, a mantle that only you can carry because you have got the truth. You walking in the truth. That truth. You ain't seen nothing yet, girlfriend. I can't wait, girl. I'm gonna be sitting back. I go, that's my little cousin, y'all. That prophet right there, that's my cousin right there. Y'all better live alone, because I cut you. That chick is over there standing up over there with Sarita Jackson's daughter. Oh yeah, that's my cousin right there. That's Elle. That's my cousin right there. Oh, you ain't know? Oh yeah, she up there with Obama. They having a chill time back in the White House. Yeah, that's my girl. See, because you are taking the truth now and you're doing something else with it. You have, girl. I brought you on to talk about this and that, girl. We just don't. You just have no idea.
And even as you talking, man, I'm sitting up here listening like it's your platform. Your platform paved the way in this season. Your platform. I have other ones coming up. We're supposed to talk about the show. I have not done an interview since 2000, I think. No, I did one right before my nephew was still in high school. He was 17, I think. Dejan, that was a couple years ago. I have not did any interview in this phase. But your platform produce the okayness, produce the freedomness, produce the I'm scared, but I ain't scared. You know, I have no words. I feel like crying because I'm unworthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people really knew, but the only thing that I know is that I have a heart for God and a heart for the people.
That's it.
And I have gone through journeys, and I'm not afraid of my journey. I'm not afraid of my undoneness. I'm like David. I am like David when he said, my sin is ever before you. My life is ever before you. Nothing is trying to be hidden. I never forget, God, how you going to use me? And I got X, Y, Z going on. And the Lord said, you worried about something I ain't even worried about. Whew. I'm not even worried about that. What I'm concerned about is the people whose lives will be touched, and me and you going to deal with each other. That's you know, and that is just, I feel like crying because it's like, I feel exposed, but I feel okay. That's it. I feel exposed, but it's necessary. I feel exposed because somebody is going to choose to live when they decide to watch this video. Somebody's going to choose to live. Somebody's going to choose to follow their purpose that they were afraid to do. Somebody's going to choose to get up out of the dark, even right now. They're sitting in the dark right now. Somebody's going to choose to turn the light on and wonder. Somebody's going to choose to do that. That's it, because of you. You know, they're going to choose to keep going. And my mom always say it's because the glory, it's because God, the glory, to God be the glory is what she would say. To God be the glory. That's it. Is what she would say. And that's all I can say. So I'm gonna get out of this place because you're making me feel like a punk.
Girl, you ain't no punk, girl. What you talking about? You know, girl, you ain't no
Lord. You know, but yeah. So
I'm gonna take you out that place for just a few moments.
We're good.
Because you know, you just, girl, all of y'all that came on, Ginger, Leslie come back. Kim, hey Kim, sister-in-law, cousin-in-law, how you doing? Pastor, my pastor out here, Pastor Yolanda Smith. How you doing, Pastor? Yeah, look, and my pastor ain't been on the show for a minute, but she out there this afternoon. To God be the glory.
Pastor Smith, listen, I heard you gonna be in Charlotte tomorrow.
No, the same day you're gonna be there. She's gonna be there the 18th with you.
The 18th, yes. Not tomorrow. The 18th. Oh yeah, hey Kim. Oh yes, indeed. I'm coming to see you, lady.
Tag you.
I'm coming to see you.
So y'all think we thank y'all for tuning in. We just done had a ball. But hell, come on now. You doing I love it, girl. I love it. So hell, you know, we done talk about everything else, girl. Tell the people what's happening July 18th at 4 o'clock.
Listen, let me tell y'all something right here, right now. Let me tell y'all what is happening. Man, July the 18th, the Lord has graced me with the ability to promote, to book, to work my very first on the big stage. Welcome back, CLT Gospel Fest. Where we bringing praise and worship post-COVID back to the city of Charlotte. People are not ready for this type of event that's going to happen. Oh man, they not ready for this. This part right here, they ain't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? I got Rudy Currents coming to the stage.
Wow.
I've been checking out his catalog. Rudy catalog is a fool with it. And he got a song that says, I belong here. And it says, it's pretty much saying there's a place for me inside the body of Christ. I love that doggone song. He got another song that says, I got you, Kim. He got another song that says, it talks about testimony. And it's another one. His catalog is a fool.
Wow.
His catalog is a fool. If y'all do not know Rudy, y'all need to check him out. I've seen him live before, on a different setting, but that God has given, I have a heart for people in music, a heart for being able to provide music and the music side of it, and then protect the artists as well. But I know a lot of musicians and a lot of singers and people have put out, and sometimes people won't take the chance to produce the stage. They won't take the chance to produce the stage and anything on that regard. And hit the stage, man. The stage is opening up the opportunity for artists that are local to be seen on a national scale, artists that have songs that people wouldn't even think of putting them on the stage. Man, I'm excited and scared all at the same time. But I'm excited. July 18th, welcome back, CLT Gospel Fest. I got Rudy Currents coming out here. I got William Beckton as my host. Pastor William Beckton, that's my pastor as my host. I got Bettina Wilson come up. She got a church down in South Carolina. Miss Bettina Wilson, she will take you to church. I mean, right there. I got John Simmons, Frank Hardison. I have a saxophone player named Jonathan Rose. I have Abundant Faith Worship Center here in Charlotte. Bishop Mays is allowing his choir to come out and fellowship with us, featuring First Lady Kenya Mays. They're gonna hit the stage for me. Listen, when I'm talking about I'm ready,
girl, you are ready.
All at the same time, man. Listen, this right here, that's what I love to do, and I can't wait, because the moment, I haven't decided if I'm gonna open up the show yet or what I'm gonna do, but the moment I turn this mic over to Pastor Beckton, I'm like, all right, cool. Now I can sit back and just see what didn't happen, because I work every single day.
I know that's right. Wow. So I guess we're gonna be able to see you. You're gonna do a little drumming.
Nah, I ain't doing. I'm my old back. I ain't getting on no kind of music or anything. I'm strictly. No, not this time. I thought about it, and I thought about opening the show for praise and worship, and then I changed my mind. I'm gonna do that at another time. We're gonna have another show. I'm gonna do it at another time. But yeah, man, if you're watching, you can get your tickets online at Eventbrite. You can purchase them at the door. If you know me, you can inbox me if you're here in Charlotte. I don't mind bringing them to you. Got other people. I got people in Greensboro that have tickets. High Point area, if people want to be able to purchase them, but it's on a Sunday. They're getting the dates mixed up, because who has a gospel fest on a Sunday? Most events happen on Saturday, but here's the connection. Bringing praise and worship back on the town where the majority of people say, oh, this is where we're supposed to be. So let's bring everybody together so we can just worship the Lord. And this place is outside. We get to enjoy the sun, music, and each other in a safe environment. And that's what we're going to do. Welcome back, CLT Gospel Fest, July 18th, 4:00 p.m. Y'all better get ready, get your tickets, get all of that good stuff. We got vendors out there, food trucks. Man, we ain't playing no game.
Look, I just didn't come trying to say that day.
Listen, we ain't playing no games out here, man. We ain't playing no games.
Right.
And every time I get to working on, I just tell the Lord, thank you. Then I say I'm tired, and then I tell him I thank you again. And then I just go to sleep and start all the way back over again.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So
people can get the tickets on Eventbrite. And
Eventbrite. They can reach out to me.
And so tell folks how much tickets are.
The tickets is $15 in advance, 25 at the door. I actually did something where, so the whole family could come out with children under 10, with proof when it comes to the taller ones, because I got nieces and nephews that's tall, that's over the age of 10, So, but I did it to where, the whole family could come out. They got young kids, they could bring them out, put them in a little lawn chair and see the stage and enjoy. Go on and lift your hands up and tell the Lord thank you, and all of that good stuff. Yeah.
And eat and be merry while you're there.
Yeah, that's all we're there. Have a good time,
So tell the people. So y'all get your tickets. I got to hit you up. I got some people from Martinsville area that are interested in coming down. I got some people that's here in Greensboro that saw the flyer. They're interested. So I got to get them. I hope they're watching so they can go ahead and tap into you. Check this out. Tell the people, because see, we started all around the other side. Yeah, we've been here since 6:30. We've been talking about if y'all ain't had praise, look, if they had praise and worship with us, then they missed the whole show.
Right.
We didn't have a good time. So tell the people about your business, the management, because I got Michelle B. Hammond out there, and I got some other people out there that are artists. I want them to know about your management, your business.
How I manage artists. Well, before I get into the phase of it, I tap into the area of artist development. So it allows me to develop the artists, really tap into what their skill set is and produce that type of atmosphere where their gift can actually be used freely for themselves. Like they have the freedom to be able to do it. So I'll go in, we did do artist management, artist development, where we develop it. So if they need vocal training, we'll be able to set that up. They need vocal training, we deal with the health side of it as well. And then what happens is, as we continue to go forward, if you log on to, to be managed, then what we'll do is start creating, looking for platforms that we can set you on, put you on to share your music, to go out here and share your music so the world can hear. So it's just the artist management. And we done tapped into promotion. So now I'm a promoter as well, a booking agent as well. So all of that is entailed inside the management company. So you sign on with me as an artist, you got a promoter, you got a booking agent. So I can book you as well as get people to book with me to be able to put on shows and all of that good stuff. As you can see my logo, IJT Entertainment. I'm working on, this is a line as well as one of my closing lines. It says it's just that. As a statement, it's just saying, hey, what I said, I meant what I said, and it's just that, period. Ain't nothing gonna follow it. So
love it.
But that's pretty much it. And the crazy thing, man, is that I had Eljay Eccles management since I probably started in 2005 and hadn't really, I started it, did some artist management. My best friend, Stephanie, she sings with William Beckton. If nobody knows who William Beckton is, think of the song, Be Encouraged. No matter what's going on. That is my pastor. That's my dude. She sings with William Beckton. They got a song out right now called Set Me on Fire right now. And so it started with her, us being able to book studio sessions, us working on demos, and just that's pretty much what we do, man. So now I gotta tap back into it. Like I said, I put it to the side. Went to work, tapped into the musician side of it again, went to work. But I tell people a lot of times, I had this dream one time, this vision. I don't know if people watch The Simpsons, but a cartoon, if you could think of manila folders, and you sitting behind a desk and you have a variety of different folders in front of you. And I always thought that the one folder that was sitting in front of me was, all these folders, and I had to choose one. I thought that's what it was. But then what I failed to realize is that folder number 1 taps into folder number 5. So I got to figure out how to work folder 1, 5, 3, 7, all at the same time, because the capacity that I hold that has been given to me allows me to be able to figure out how to maneuver in each one of these without getting overwhelmed. And then when I do get overwhelmed, I say I'm overwhelmed, take a step back and go get back in it again, and those are it's all of those arenas. Sometimes we think we just got to work one thing. That's it. Man, I get up tomorrow morning, I got to go play in the morning. I got to play the drums in the morning. I have 2 church services that I have to go to. Then I have to go to another Epic church at 6 o'clock. Then I have another team meeting for the show at 7:30. So this is every Saturday. Ministry, musician, Eljay Eccles management, all of that working hand in hand. And we just gonna make it do what it do.
And then you got the next 5 books coming up too.
So. And the next 5 books, I got one working on it. I'm working on it. And this right here, because, you know, I got the next one coming out. It's called Becoming the Original You, Manifesting Your Truth.
Come on,
manifesting, you know, and that is the journey of, you know, you found your truth. Now there's time for the manifestation of it so that it becomes visible and that it helps somebody else breathe. And what everybody is saying is that story in real life.
Well, I'm gonna get it before I did this one. I'm gonna get it, and I'm telling y'all now, about 5 copies of the new book when it come out. 5, maybe 10. What you say? 10, 5, 15. Let's do 15. I don't know. And you know when you get that one done, you got to come back on the show, so Indeed. I can put the books together and say, you know, but.
Vicky, I fools with you, Vicky. I fools with you now.
see, that's how we works together. See, not everybody understand our craziness. That's what it is.
Right.
But we have a good time doing what we do. We're not looking to impress anybody. It's not for us. It's not about the flashing lights and all of that. It's about doing the business for God in any way that He allows us to have the opportunity to do it in. And I, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm just honored to have you here. You are just, girl, what? I'm gonna have to call my brother and say, look, I believe you lied. I believe you lied. I believe she older than what you think she is. Because the wisdom, girl, the wisdom nuggets you have thrown out today.
I appreciate you, Vicky.
Girl, you know how we do. You know how we do. This is how we. Oh, that's not the church song. Oh. Yes, girl. Yes, girl. Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, girl. I love you too. Let me tell y'all, if y'all don't catch her, go back and check out her page. She does a beautiful podcast. She be cracking. Someday you be cracking me up, and then sometimes be like, "Oh, that girl, she done got my heart." Like, oh Lord, they gonna put her out. They gonna put her out, Lord Jesus. But I'll be listening to you, and I'll just be amazed at the beautiful words, the encouragement that you give, the transparency that you give is amazing. So guys, if you haven't checked her out yet, if you haven't befriended her yet, go out there and hook her up, send her a friend request. Don't send her 5, don't send her 10. Look, I told you, didn't I tell you in the inside scoop, I got somebody saying, is she married? And if she ain't married, is she looking? I told you I was gonna get it. Is she? His name is John. John said, is she married? And if she's not, is she looking? Tell her that I am getting ready to go into ministry. I'm getting ready to preach my first initial sermon and would like to know if I can communicate with her and maybe we can move further together in the ministry. John, pause, freeze, hold your horses. This is my little cousin.
Vicky, go ahead and handle that. Vicky, quit playing. And you got me over here blushing and carrying on. Help, Lord.
She might be single, but she ain't single for you.
Dang, get all out my business.
Let the Lord use you without Eljay.
I am not married.
That's all she gonna
at
say.
all.
That's all she gonna say. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you want to walk with her into their ministry. But we would
appreciate one new walk. But I am okay over there. I'm not married, but I am not single either. So
in other words, Mind your bees wet. Now, if you need some help with finding a church for that you can get ministered to for your ministry,
You're so silly,
I
Vicky.
got some. I mean,
Oh God.
my
Listen,
pastor's
first
on
of
here.
all,
My
Vicky, you know we light skinned and stuff, and my face turns red. Then that, Lord have
I told you before
mercy.
we got on the show. I told you it was gonna happen. See,
Well, tell John be definitely praying for you in your initial sermon, man. Bless God for it.
hallelujah.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
If you need a church home, I can tap you into Empowering Lives Christian Center. My pastor Yolanda Smith is coming. She in the Charlotte area now. I can call LJ. She can give you her pastor's number. We help you get where you need to get. Just not with LJ. Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye. Get your ticket though for the
Get your ticket for it. Come and introduce yourself and say hello. I will happily do so.
Chase, we can help you get to the show. Buy 5 tickets now. If you buy 5 tickets and say John bought them, you might get to shake her hand. Now,
right.
Wait a minute. Let me think about that. Now, you might get to wave for her from the stage. Okay. Anywho, we're gonna be praying for you though. You and your ministry. What's name your? I want to know what the name of his ministry was that he was gonna start. But my pastor, she out there. She can help me. Your pastor can help. We're good. But
we got you. Covered.
I told you. I warned you.
You said it was coming. You said it was coming. You definitely said that.
I did. Well, girl. You know, there's people that come on my show that I really love them to come, and then I love to see them go. I'm just being honest. Then there's other people that come on the show. I wish they'd come back every week. I'm just being honest. And there's some people I wish they never came on in the first time. I'm just being honest. But you, my sister, my friends, you have got to come back.
Indeed.
There's more that you have to share with us on the nuggets. I'm glad that you said yes to coming on today, because I wanted to make sure we got the information out there about the event and what you're doing. And then all of the anointing that you gave us on today. Wow, that's all I can say.
I appreciate it. I'll be back. You just say the word.
Girl, you know, look, I'm about to come down. Look, your daddy probably say, I say this I've been saying this for years, right? But I was down there a couple of weeks ago with my pastor. I was down there. I just didn't tell him I was coming. I'm gonna come to Charlotte. I'm gonna stay a couple of days and hang out with you and your dad and your sisters and stuff. We're gonna chill out and just have a little family time, whatever. We need to do that. But girl, you have just blessed the airways on today. I can't wait to put this on YouTube. I can't wait to share it on all of my social media so that people can hear the nuggets that you shared today from one area to the other area. If you didn't give it to us today, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I will say this. Empowering Lives will be there on July the 18th too. We're gonna be there at noon. Pastor Yolanda Smith and Pastor-elect Yolanda Smith and Apostle Mark B. Walker will be there on the July 18th at 12 o'clock. The information is on my page, what hotel we're going to be at or what have you, but y'all don't want to miss that. And then you're going to roll over. See how I said this? You're going to just roll on over and be with Elle at 4 o'clock. That's all you got to do. Leave at 12 and roll over at 4. You ain't even got to get no food because she got vendors that's going to have food. You can just roll up, get your ticket, and walk on in. That's all you got to do. Just walk on in. So
4 o'clock, welcome back. CLT Gospel Fest.
CLT Gospel Fest. So okay, this is another question. See, I got caught up with John. So will you be taking CLT on the road? Or are you just going to be sticking in the Charlotte area?
The Charlotte area for now.
Okay.
Then we'll see. You know, if we can make it happen, we definitely will. Right. So I refuse to put a cap on it. So if somebody say, hey, we need you here, oh, let's go. We in the game, not a problem. I can make it happen.
I know that's right. You're gonna make it do what
Make
it
it do what it do all day.
Make it do what you do. Well, El,
Girl,
we done been. Cam, can I come next week? Is that at your house? You gonna cook? Cause you know I'm not cooking.
Kim on here. Hey,
Look.
Kim.
I love it. I love it. So I don't want to let you go, man. I could just talk to you all night, man. I mean, to all you young folks out there, she is a product of showing you what you can do at a young age and keep it moving. And she is the best, the America's Sheila E. I'm glad you sat down because Eljay Eccles is in the house. She make the drums talk to you, man. Girl, I was watching that one video and I was like, did she just flip it? Yes, she did. I was like, what the? Okay, so that's another show. We're gonna bring you back so you can play a little bit for us and let the people see your skills because she got them, y'all. But guys, I am so thankful for you being with us again. It has been such a pleasure. You know, it's like catching up and seeing you grow and all of those things. You know, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I know your dad's proud, but I know that lady that's standing behind you is even prouder because she gets to push you from a distance. And I am great. And I know your sisters, boy, child. Yes, Lord. They proud their sister. I know they is. But girl, before we go, I'm gonna tell the folks. Yes, Ginger, it's in the blood. Ginger said it's in the blood. It's in the blood.
In the blood.
It's in the blood. We ain't gonna start saying no Austin here, y'all. Forget for that. But anywho, before we go, I want to tell you guys to come back tomorrow night on Uncensored Conversation. And El, I got a lady that you might want to be interested in. Michelle B. Hammond is coming back. She is going to be introducing her new CD that she just put out. She is up in the Maryland, D.C. area. Michelle is a returning guest. She does so many different things. So we brought her back. We're going to bring her back tomorrow night to talk about her new book and her CD. I've already told her about you. So she was on with us earlier. I don't know if she's still on, but yeah, she is an artist that you may need to be in connection with. So she's amazing, beautiful voice. And of course, you know, Ginger, she need to go and make her CD too. I'm just going to put her out there like that. Anywho, you know, I'm just saying. But yeah, come back tomorrow night if you guys have nothing. I don't care if you got something to do. Come back tomorrow night at 8:00 on Uncensored Conversation, Elevated, Not Tolerated. But in the meantime, I'm going to need you to make sure you get your tickets for July the 18th.
July 18th.
At 4:00. So you can be there or be square. I'm just saying.
Be there, be square.
Be there, be square. So, El, before we go, do you want to get the people just one more good thing to tell them tonight?
Hey, listen. Be easy, be joyful, and be okay. To not be okay, but be okay anyway. That's just it. I love you. The love of Christ as always. It won't be like this always. At some point in time, there will come a change and there will come a shift. But allow yourself to be okay and be prepared for it. You got to be able to hear in the silent moment, because at the silent moment is when the greater things will be exposed. That's all I got to say.
Girl, that was good right there. That was good right there. You know, I got to hope I got more than you to hug, girl. You know. So silly. Yeah, I love you, girl.
I love you. Appreciate you.
You know it. Anytime I can push you, I'm gonna push you.
Appreciate it.
Every day, all day. All right, guys. So y'all gonna make me cry because I don't like to say goodbye. It's so hard to say goodbye. Okay. El, you stay with me for just a few more minutes, and I'm gonna let you go. But guys, make sure you get your tickets. Reach out to her. If you need information, go ahead and send her a friend request. Make sure you're nice about your friend request. Don't be like John and you have to get cut. I just had to say that. John might be a good old guy. We just need to hook him up with somebody else. Anywho, but guys, I want y'all to be good. Stay safe in what you do, and always remain elevated and not tolerated. And we will see you tomorrow night. El, stay with me for a few minutes.
I got you.